round, you have to think, what can I play here? What works? What's going to get me, how can I damage control this? How can I go into this second game without essentially griefing myself? But speaking of going into our second game of the day, we are about to do exactly that. We're going to be taking a look at what these players are choosing to take, what abilities, what F and V, the ult and skill they are opting to take into this second game of the day. I'm expecting nothing too crazy. With Justina, though, I've voiced my opinion that V3 is a relatively solid pick, more so for trios than it is for solos, because it slows you down just a little bit, and V2 has been more popular in general, and that looks as though that might be what they're going for. Both Zeldin and Mike are now opting to go for that V2, both of them going for F2 as well, the combo break version of that ice block. We have Pandaman with that V1 on the Hardy. I don't think we're seeing any V2 Hardy. I still haven't yet to see that come in to these games. And then more of the same, more of the meta choices for these other characters, for Feria and for Zipping. Nothing too spicy, nothing too crazy, and we're about to jump over. It's getting a little cold, but you know who thrives in the cold? That's Frostivus, ladies and gentlemen, and I am looking to see him pop off this game, but here we are, off the rip. We are looking at WBG Spider and AOW's Mike. Got some Justinas in the mix. Another character that thrives in the cold. It looks as though WBG Spider unfortunately has not managed to find himself an armor just yet, but he does manage to pick it up. The no ult zone has come down, and Spider reads the opening from AOW's Mike, gets that parry, and catches Mike on the whole dodge, tries to cross him up, but Spider's ready. He catches him, almost catches him on the secondary whole dodge, and there it is, the weapon swap, and Spider takes down our game 1 MVP in the second game of the day.
What a strong start coming in from Spider here. You know that Spider wanted to give it a nice little bit of redemption after not having a great game in his first one, but just like how you said before, his mental has been very important for him to work on over time, because you can tell it starts to affect him if those first games aren't going so well, and clearly you could tell he worked on it with that amount of confidence, being able to push in on a player like Mike and is able to successfully get that first elimination onto the board here. Now, if you look at some of the other play styles and some of these other players, you're seeing where some of these play styles go. Let's see if it's going to be very helpful for him here as we start to see that momentum start to shift. T225 gets caught off the backstretch of Wang Liang, but T225 is able to steal the elimination away from Wang Liang. All that hard work absolutely gone, and now it's time for the fight as well. Pops open the ulti here to go for the heal. Immediately that does not work as he catches him off the outstretch, trying to see if he can hold strong here. Nice hits coming through from the fan as he's waiting for him to go from the outstretch, but now he goes for the bait. Ends up backing up. Beautiful stretch and a beautiful worm. Ends up catching him on the inside all the way up top. And now the parry comes through. Wang Liang is going to find it. Nice destruction coming through from the shield. Almost catches him off the outskirts from this. Nice hits from the fan. Wang Liang absolutely decimating T225, but he does have that pull sword, and one hit could change the game just like that for a player like Wang Liang here. So he does have to be careful depending on the approach of K225, as now he's going to try to see if he could retreat out of here. Doesn't want to get caught up in a bad situation here, and T225 is able to find himself a gray shield, decides to back off, but now Spider going for the rotation, trying to see if maybe he can capture it. Actually ends up missing the grapple, but does have the opportunity here, as now he's going to chase after Wang Liang, goes for the shopping, tries to see if maybe he can get some stuff here, and now the fan. Nice hits from the Declang, trying to see if he can get some damage here, and he finds K225 as well right next to him here, as now Wang Liang on that outskirts pops the bell to see where anybody is, as we look at another fight here between two hotties. And it looks like GG Shaw with the ulti here, trying to see if he can get some decent hits here. It looks like he does. Pops open the no ult zone, and GG Shaw is able to get out of there just in the nick of time.
Indeed, his ultimate was about to expire, so I don't think it would have made too much of a difference, but unfortunately he wasn't able to secure that pop from the 3-ban zone before he made it out. But here we are heading back on over to Spider and Wang Liang. Wang Liang gets a beautiful parry onto Spider. Spider immediately put on the back foot, goes for that double jump into the ult activation. He's on the move. He is speeding out of there. He is zipping right out of there. The namesake just speaks for itself. And Spider immediately he now cancels his ultimate, and he's able to save some of that ultimate charge, and he is full HP. but T225 and Wang Liang don't want to let him get away with that. They know his ultimate went down, and it looks as, oh, this is a really rough situation. All for both T225 and Spider. Spider reads the release from the blue focus from that greatsword, and he's not able to get the punishment. Unfortunately, T225 is still on the move. He's still going. His ultimate is popped. He has his F up in less than a second. Can he get it off? He goes for it. He gets a huge parry onto Akuma. Akuma immediately gets chunked down so much. Another parry coming in for T225. Spider getting knocked down, but Wang Liang manages to still pick up the kill onto T225. Securing the first elimination for him in our second game.
I gotta give it up to T225, man.
That was
he had 3 people right in between him. He was fighting that for so long here. Getting double parries was absolutely beautiful. Speaking of that, Spider able to climb another parry onto Wang Liang here, and now it's a 3-way fight and a 3-way chase as Akuma ends up getting hit by the backstretch from the spear coming through from Akuma. Now Akuma is on a different level of assertion. The W key, beautiful hits coming through, gets the drag from the fan. He says, come here, boy. I want that booty and I want it now. As Akuma trying to see if he can clutch this up here. Nice hits, trying to see if he can capture it. Nice hit. He ends up catching him, but it's not enough as Wang Liang is going to be able to steal the elimination away. Wang Liang able to do exactly what he needs to here in this moment. This is what he's good for in this moment. Nice hits. He has to be careful here because Spider could really close this out as if Wang Liang is able to pop the heal for himself here. Able to capture him off the water here. And now it's time to get wet as he does end up hitting some decent hits though from the spear. It's a spear against spear here, and he ends up, he goes for the weapon swap. The massive hits coming in from the heavy sword is able to get some decent damage here. Both of them waiting for the blue focus, waiting for the time strike on each one. Pops the F key to try to see go for the shield. Beautiful parry to let go of that shield, and now Spider's on the wrong skirt. Wang Liang is able to steal the gold. Now he has the advantage. Nice hits coming through. Spider trying to hold strong here. Beautiful armor swap timing. Wang Liang trying to see if he can go for it. The beautiful parry on the right stretch. He's going to go for the retreat. He's not going to try to claim it. He wants the elimination for himself. Wang Liang trying to hold strong. Spider dangerously low. He needs to get out of dodge. Wang Liang is not going to give him the opportunity. It's time for the chase. It's time for the cartoons. It's time for the channel to turn, as now he is trying to find the moment here to capture this moment. Beautiful scoop. He captures him with the blue focus. He tries to go for the backstretch. Beautiful dodge from it. The fan is able to capture it enough. Dangerously low. Can Wang Liang secure the elimination? Not enough. He pops open the F key. Both of them still fighting this out. This is the issue between us. But it's not enough as Wang Liang secures the elimination onto Spider.
That was a beautiful fight coming out from both Wang Liang and Spider. Beautifully done. Both of you played this so unbelievably well. Hey, Spider, unfortunately, though, he does go down once that rebirth expires, so he has been eliminated from the second game. But here we are. We're back into the action immediately. We have AOW Mike up against this Hardy, up against GG Shah in the realm of Yang. He gets that opening. He goes for the parry, leveraging his F. He avoids the damage, but immediately gets caught on that dodge out of the ice block. And GG Shah, he's able to equalize the effective health. Both of these players now immediately popping their ultimates. Both of them going for that reset, not immediately looking for the engagement. Mike uses one of his dashes already. He's only got one remaining with that V2. V2 only has 2 as opposed to V1 having those 3. But if he manages to catch him once, if he manages to go through, he's going to get that freeze. But it looks as though he's not able to do so. GG Shah still has a little bit of time left. He's able to get a little bit of value, and now he's in an advantageous situation. GG Shah, he's looking to win this. He gets the parry onto the nunchucks, catches Mike. He's going for the tag chase. He's going for another parry. Unfortunately, he doesn't get that confirmation. GG Shah, he gets punished for his misread. He goes for the double tap dodge, though. Beautifully done. He does have his F still up and ready to go, and there it is. He takes down Mike in the realm of Yang.
He was so dangerously close in that moment. Those movement dodges coming in from him did that so well for him. That timing couldn't have been any better, because if he missed any of those dodges, Mike wins that. In any situation, Mike wins that if he misses any of those dodges. That was just how close that game could have been. Because when I tell you, there's a reason why I was like, If you miss out on that, Mike's going to take advantage of that every situation, every step of the way. Meanwhile, back at it here, obviously, when it comes to Mike taking taking an advantage. He will take that advantage as he comes through, and he goes for the rematch on Shaw. Not looking good as he ends up getting scale pushed twice. Ends up getting hit by the dual halberds. He's going to keep the same emotions. What a catch coming through here as Shaw. He's going to keep the same retreat coming back towards it. He's not going to stop anytime soon. Nice hits coming through as the F comes through. The hottie trying to see if he can rotate this out. Now it's time for the slowdown. Now it's time for the cooldown. Everybody starts to back up. Now it's time for the tango. It takes 2 to tango. Sometimes it takes 1 to be able to dance by yourself. And sometimes it takes 3. And 3 is the crowd, as it could be a third party coming from Action here. But it looks like we're still going through the 2 of a tango, as it looks like now he's going to capture himself an audience here. As Mike trying to see if he can get some hits here. Coming over the spear. But the Shaw is going to find the spear. He finds the parry. He finds it in that moment, but Mike is still going to be able to keep it strong. Beautiful hits coming through, but the third party comes through. Now the hottie's going to decide to dip out as we see a fourth party. Same thing with Mike. Mike decides he doesn't want any of this action at the party. He's going to dip out of here.
He's used his ultimate. He is one of those characters. He's playing Justina, so he is able to conserve a lot of his ultimate's charge by simply not using the dashes. But Mike, he needs that Soul Bloom to be able to cleanse this Yang depletion that he managed to get himself from GG Star. GG Star still has a minute and 20 seconds to play with this Vermilion's Bird Might, so he's taking those risks. Mike, though, it looks as though he got stunned by the icicle, but thankfully, thank all that is good that he does not get spotted out, because that would have been a very, very bad way to go. He is able to find that reset and get that disengage, but I can't say the same for GG Shah. GG Shah immediately getting engaged on by Pandaman. Pandaman also in a very difficult situation on that Hardy. He did get taken down in the realm of Yang by, it appears, J-Team's Action managing to take him down in the realm of Yang. Action also having that Vermilion Bird's Might has now found his target. Mike, oh, but Action getting a lot of damage. Oh, the ballista coming through from Akuma is going to come much.
He gets the elimination from the ballista. The third party comes in, but he's well down the street. He says, I still want some action. I want some fire. Let's start a barbecue.
Mike, such an unfortunate situation for himself. Did you see that parry as well? That he did? That was so beautiful, but unfortunately it just was not enough to keep himself alive. He does go down in our second game with 0 eliminations, but Akuma picking up a cheeky one for himself, now finding a Soul Bloom and some loot to call his own. But now we're heading on over to XCG's Wang Liang. After having taken down Spider earlier on in the game, he is now sitting on 3 eliminations. He's looking to try and make it for Zeldink on a sliver of health. So unbelievably low. He finds himself a white armor, though. He has gotten that armor swap and immediately alleviated some of the pressure, but that pressure is coming knocking on the door. Zeldink forced to use his F2 to try and stay alive, but he doesn't read the release here. But Wang Liang, yes sir, he does. He gets that barrier onto Chuzeng, forcing him to use that ultimate. Wang Liang, he's going to try and hit this mech out of it. He's going to try and get it chipped down, but it's going to be a difficult situation as he's only got just his weapons and no abilities there to try and chip down this mech. Is going to be difficult, and there are going to be people looking for that third party. Choosing, he's trying to get as much value as he can, but he's not able to really find it as they are lurking at the bottom of this tower. Wang Liang able to dip in and out, and it looks as though Wang Liang is going to do exactly that.
Oh. Even with that timing as well here, was able to take that moment into that exertion here, and obviously was able to force him to use his ulti, not only for healing here, but potentially maybe to capture an elimination, but it's not going to be enough, as now the game is tied between Xjin and Wang Liang. 3 eliminations a pop for those 2 players here, as we're going to get our second realm of Yang coming through here, as it looks like they're going to try to see if they can fight this out. Meanwhile, Unique going for the heals and deciding he's going to go for the repair, and it looks like he has his sights on JDG Shoseng. Curious to see who is going to be hopping into it. It's going to be GG Shaw versus ELD, the SCA and NA's last hope. Frostivus has the time to go burn. Let's see if he can freeze them down, as they're going to go airborne here. Frostivus decides not to follow suit with it, tries to see if he can capture some hits from the bow, seeing as GG Shaw is going to scale all the way down towards the bottom. Nice hits, trying to see if he can find it. Nice hits from the nunchucks here, trying to see if he can read it. GG Shaw is going to be able to hit that as well. The F key almost hits him for it, forces GG Shaw to pop the ulti here. ELT's Frostivus might be in trouble here, trying to see if he can scale rush it all the way up top here. This is where the problem comes in on why Hadi is so good, that unpredictability.
Oh, but
ELT catches him and almost cancels it out, but the parry comes through to shut that down. Beautiful reset from the Feria. Frostivus is able to read that very well. Dangerously low from Shaw. Nice hits coming through here as he's able to claim it, but it's not enough here as Frostivus tries to capture him. And now he's caught without his ulti. Hits him with the first cannon shot. The question is, can he keep the game alive as GG Shaw is able to try to get some heals and some shields for him as he's caught inside of the corner, trying to maneuver out of him. He gets one. Can he get the second one to capture the finish off of this flare? Yes, he does, as Frostivus is able to capture the elimination and get his second win in the Realm of Yang.
Woo, beautifully done from Frostivus, my boy, taking that Realm of Yang dub and securing himself some gold nunchucks and that Mystic Might that is going to be feeling real good under his belt. GG Shaw, unfortunately, does not manage to stay on the move, doesn't manage to avoid those turret shots, but it was because Frostivus created such a considerable lead for himself at the beginning of that fight. He won the initial prio game. He was able to force Shaw into a bad situation where he has to use his ultimate rather early, and it was just fundamentals. He was cooking at that point, and he takes home the dub. But it looks as though X-Shin also took home the Realm of Yang dub for himself. He's able to secure that Mystic Might and the gold staff as well. And speaking of the gold staff, he's doing some damage to Chu Zheng over here, having only had blue armor. He's trying to make something happen. He's trying to fight off the advance from X-Shin with that Mystic Might. He has that damage reduction, so he's able to take some rather risky fights, risky engagements. He catches him with the grapple on that hold dodge, though. The explosive armor is going to prevent the advance from Chu Zheng, but here it is again. Chu Zheng, he's continuously fighting him off. The retreat is not just running. You have to fight back, otherwise you're just going to get chipped all the way down to zero. And Chu Zheng, a beautiful display of kiting here out of this Feria. Very, very nicely done.
Oh. Absolutely well made here, as it looks like Akuma's going to find GG Shaw. Gets hit with some decent damage here. Shaw on the timer now, 2.5 minutes plus, trying to see if maybe he can capture an elimination here and put on a player like Akuma. It's not going to be easy, as he's going to try to see if he can ricochet this up here. Akuma goes all the way towards the top. K till late, C225, trying to see if maybe he can scare rush it up top tier, trying to time it, but it looks like it's not going to be enough, as GG Shaw decides he's going to dip out of here, maybe finding another free opportunity for an elimination here, but he has to play smart here. He has 2.5 minutes left on the clock here, and the clock is slowly clicking down for him here, and it's not good for a player like Shaw. He's been playing and trying to figure this out here. He has 10 points to his name, 1 elimination, and this could be the fight that he's looking for here as he finds Unique down at the very bottom here. This could be a free elimination for Shaw, but let's not count him out. The beautiful hits, though, coming through from the dual outburst, trying to time it. He will explore it. The ricochet coming through from Feria. Feria trying to see if he can rotate this out. Not trying to get caught up as well, and he goes for the shimmy, the shake, and the shimmy down, trying to see if he can get out of the way, and obviously dodging all of the maneuvers that GG Shaw is trying to give him here for that damage here to secure an elimination here. And now he finds Stretch here towards it. Nice F key to time the reset. Beautiful hits with that, but the F key is going to be able to find his way, and Shaw, caught in a tough situation here, is able to do the exact same thing, loses out on it. The shield is able to do so much here, and he pops open the ulti, forcing Shaw to try to back this off here. He's dangerously low, but it looks like they're both gonna go for the reset real quick.
Indeed, it looks as though he's trying to play around the pillar. He's trying to dance around Shaw. He's trying to make something happen while he still has the opportunity to do so. He does get a huge amount of damage. That gold weapon, that legendary rarity, is doing so much for the damage coming out of that Hadi ultimate. He manages to take off almost all of that shield from 521 Unique, but Unique immediately jumps into that Feria mech. It looks as though Shaw may have broken his ankles, though. It looks as though he has lost him, and it cancels his ult as well. GG Shaw coming in. It doesn't look as though he's got the resources to heal back his armor. He is on the advance. He's forced to use his F ability. He gets cooked by the release on the vertical, and Unique manages to pick up the elimination for himself. Unfortunately, though, he did have Poison Splash, so he does continue to take a little bit of tick damage after he exits the zone. But it looks as though Wang Liang, he's not interested. He's looking to come in and stock up on these resources before they head into the final zone, into this late game situation. He's very happy with his 3 kills. He doesn't need to push it. Speaking of some situations, Frostivus on that Farrier with that gold nunchucks and purple armor, he too is sitting in a very comfortable situation. Another character that has scaling based off of the weapon rarity that you are holding when you use your ultimate. So he's going to be doing a lot of damage with that Farrier ultimate going into this endgame.
Definitely going to be putting in some damage here. Let's see if he's also timing it well with some other stuff here, as we're going to see the random Bane's Breath start to hit as well here. Doesn't look like anybody's realistically in that space here. It looks like XJin and OUG's Panda Man looks like they're going to be nearby, trying to see if they can capture this gold shield. It's going to be very vital for him here, as the bow shots coming from up top, making it hard, as it looks like XJin is going to successfully capture the shield and decides to back out of that situation. Does a fantastic job of that as well here. Takes the time to do what he needs to here in that moment, and XJin working towards that as he has 3 eliminations to his name. He is one of the top players, but he's got some good gold and some good silver, good purple loot on him as well. As it looks like he's going to opt out for the gray bow. Okay. It's an interesting choice for the gray bow here.
It's possible that that's all he's found. It might be, it might be the case.
And in that situation, that's actually really unfortunate. But you know what? Stranger things can happen in that situation here. As it looks like we're going to go back towards JDG Shazang. Has his ulti, trying to see if he can find some decent stuff here. Looks like he's found something for his repair, potentially. Might be able to repair something here to get the game going here. As it looks like the Bane's Breath is successfully out of there. Didn't look like it really claimed any bodies, which is, it's okay. It happens to the best of us here. And you know, we'll try again.
That just immediately made me think of that conversation that we had about Moonbanes in the endgame.
Right.
So one of the mechanics in the game currently is that in normal rank games, so in normal Herald's Trial, we have all those 3 Moonbanes in the shop that are purchasable. So you have the blue, the purple, and the gold in the shop that you can buy. However, in Immortal Wall, you can only buy the blue. But enough of that for now. We're going to be jumping onto a replay. We'll talk a bit more about that in a moment if we have time. XJin against Pandaman in the realm of Yang, getting a beautiful jump parry onto Pandaman's blue focus release, forcing him to use that ultimate and try and disengage, or potentially try and find an avenue of entry here to try and chip down XJin. But it looks as though XJin, he's ready for it. He is, hey, no, Pandaman, you're not on the fire dog, you are not on Taka. I'm cooking you with Hardy here, and he does exactly that and takes home that Realm of Yang dub. Very nice for him. But we're heading back on over to the live game. We've got Frostivus and Akuma scrapping it out at the edge of the zone. Unfortunately, Frostivus, he's not able to find the connection with that pillar from the V3, and Akuma manages to disengage for the moment. For the moment, as I say, the cannon shot coming in, doing a chunky amount of damage, but Akuma, he's able to stay on the move. He is playing zipping, and he is looking to zip away from this situation, but he's stuck on the buttery rocks. It's very difficult to move. He's slipping, he's sliding, he's trying to get away. He's attracting more and more attention the further into this zone he goes. But hey, he's on that zipping. This is why we see this character get picked up so often, and he's able to get that full reset with still 20% of his ultimate to spare. Insane.
Decent amount of time here to be able to do what he needs to here. As it looks like we just saw a split happening between Frostivus, and it looks like Wang Liang that was currently into this fight here. As it looks like now he's going to be able to pop his shield here. Bo's nearby, has to be careful, as Wang Liang also has, it looks like, a pistol as well. Decides to back that off here, and now we're still on this rotation here. AOW's Mike officially out of this game here, so it's definitely going to be a new winner, and Spider also out as well. So it's going to be interesting to see who takes the dub. So far, Wang Liang definitely caught up here with that 3 eliminations and those 23 points in total. XJin, 3 eliminations as well to their name, 17.9. So with that amount of timing, with that amount of exertion, there's still a lot to cover in this game, as XJin trying to see if they can close in this gap between them and Frostivus here, but it doesn't look like they really want to connect any of their weapons here. Actually, I might have taken that back here, as XJin got a little wildly close here. Waiting for that opportunity to try to see if it strikes here, but let's see if maybe they capture the bait as well towards this. And it looks like he's still not trying to here. Frostivus is the type that's like, I wish he would. I wish he would.
Try me. sort of playing the footsie game, just going back and forth, dancing around, trying to find an opening for themselves. It's rather hard to do, though. You don't want to leave anything on the table. You don't want to leave an exploitable mistake. And speaking of, Akuma immediately gets punished by Unique. The turnaround parry, beautifully done, sending him deep into that storm. Akuma now yet again on the back foot, trying to find that disengage, trying to find that reset. But hey, yet again, we are seeing the prowess, the potential of Zipping Yin, able to constantly be on the move whilst resetting. That is the main strength of this character. You're able to use that ultimate, use that F ability to stay on the move. But speaking of staying on the move, Unique, he's unable to do that, and he gets stuck on the buttery rocks yet again, sliding down, and just gets absolutely blasted by this pistol. I'm not 100% sure exactly who picked up that elimination.
That was Akuma.
It was Akuma.
Akuma was able to pick up that elimination. He eliminates Unique in that situation. Very tough to be able to call that. Most likely we'll be able to find the replay for that later, but Circle 6 slowly closing in 20 seconds. 20 seconds is where the things are really going to start to push off here, as now things slowly trying to find it out here, as JDG was saying, trying to see if they can find some cannon hits as well here, as Frostivus is able to go through the heels here. Trying not to get caught, and sadly Frostivus does in this moment here. And now Frostivus is trying to fight this out. Nice hits, trying to see if he can push him off the cliff though from the shots, but the cannons is able to put a lot of damage onto him. Frostivus has to be careful here as he pops over the ulti, and now he decides to dip out, but it's not going to be enough as T225 secures the next elimination into this fight. 2 eliminations for the man himself in the top 3 situation, 23.3, and he's almost tied with Wang Liang, ready to take the second place slot away from XCG's top player for their solos here, as it looks like T225 decides to go airborne, gets a nice hit onto Panaman. Now they're going to try to see if they can scale this one down. What goes up must come down in these moments as the circle slowly starts to close in here. Let's see if they can find the moment here for that rift as the totem starts to hit, and he calls the totem out as well. JDG uses this moment here to go for the heals here. Let's see if they can create some type of moment here, and he does get some hits though from Akuma, and it's not going to be enough as Akuma catches the elimination onto Zhang, destroys them in seconds, and now they have tied up with Wang Liang and Action here. Slowly, Circle trying to see if they can find the moment here. Panaman is going to be able to pop the ulti here, trying to see if they can dodge from everybody. Gets a nice hit onto Wang Liang, decides to dip out of that moment here. Definitely doesn't want to give him the free elimination here. Panaman has a free moment here to himself here, and it looks like Wang Liang end up getting absolutely destroyed off the outskirts here, forcing the pop the ulti here, getting the Q as well, and the F, but it's not going to be enough. The damage is able to create so much as well away from it, as he has to be careful here, even towards that. Beautiful double parry from Wang Liang, trying to keep them away from getting the elimination onto XCG's Wang Liang. Beautiful reset as well towards this. The crowd absolutely shocked here as Panaman is getting hit from the damage from the outskirts here, so he has to be careful here. Meanwhile, Action going for the heels, same with Akuma. Akuma trying to see if maybe they can find it. It's not going to be enough as C225 tries to see if he can find a moment though. It looks like he will be able to try to see if he can close in this gap here between Panaman. Panaman dangerously low. I don't know who necessarily destroyed his whole shield. Miracle parry onto this one, trying to see if he can find it, but it's not going to be enough as C225 finds his 4th elimination, or technically that's his 3rd, as he takes over 2nd place away from Wang Liang here, but there still is the spot for 1st place. Action is able to send C225 almost on the outskirts of the circle, both of them fighting up top. Meanwhile, there's another team on the outskirts. Action ends up getting destroyed by Akuma. Akuma trying to see if he can find it. Wang Liang all the way up top here, using the tree to their advantage. Both of them down low. Akuma going for the heal. Key 225 has the both defense off the side here. The pole sword able to do a lot of damage. They start going chasing. Both of them trying to see if they can find a moment. Beautiful parry from Wang Liang. Wang Liang is getting slipped away from it. T225 gets eliminated here, but it's not going to be allowed as they both stay alive towards this game. Both of them tying this up here. So many eliminations a pop for some of these players. This was anyone's game coming through. They played that so well. The timing couldn't be any better for some of these moments here, but that's just how tight it is, as DRG's Akuma is going to successfully claim game number 2. As Akuma, that playstyle, that unpredictability from a player that we've seen before, he waits until the final circle ends. He sees the moment, he sees it, and he also catches the eliminations off the back of Wang Liang, off the back of another player here. He takes those vulnerable moments that some of these players players are having, and he starts to claim them for himself. That's how he was able to secure it towards the end, because in reality, it could have been anyone's game. Wang Liang has been in this situation many of times, and